Shalom. We out here once again giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Al Shabbat Shem HaKadosh. And what we're going to do is, we're going to go into some comments. We're just going to see what other comments is out, you know, on the different videos, and then we're just going to answer questions and go off of that. We didn't really have a particular topic that we was going to go into. So as soon as you can find something.
Which video?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Wherever you want to go. You can go to your video, my video, anybody's video.
Let me go to the last video we did last week. Okay, this was GMS after camp lesson 06, 11, 20, 22. Waiting for it to come up.
Hope y'all can hear us a little windy out
here.
there.
Yeah, might rain.
There was a guy who did a video, he said, I'm trying to remember how he said it. Something about slavery. The Most High loved us, why did we go into slavery?
Oh, well, that's easy because look, when you get raised up as the child of the Most High, you have to be tested, man. The scriptures speak about a bastard. Can you give me that in the New Testament? I believe that's in Hebrews.
Yep.
Yeah. 12, 16. No.
Right, chastisement. I know it.
Yeah, that's the key word, chastisement.
12 and 8. I got it.
Yep.
All right, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 7. No, I'm going to start up above that. Hebrews 12 and 6. It says, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
That's all we got to read. That's all we got to read. Mm-hmm. Keep reading.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
So that proves that we're the sons of the Most High.
Right.
And that shows you that Esau can't jump up and say, well, we're sons of the Most High. First of all, you wasn't chastened, man. Mm-hmm. And you can't tell me you didn't do anything wrong. You put us in slavery. You done messed up the whole world. Mm-hmm. So you got some nerve saying that you the sons of the Most High, and you thinking you're gonna jump up, man, you out of here,
yeah.
Esau, man.
Yeah. There's a difference between being chastised and judged to the point of being totally destroyed. The Lord said,
we were chastised.
Yeah, in other words, chastised as a father, love his son did something wrong, fucked him up, but said, look, son, I love you, that's why I did this. But if
you don't chastise your son, he's gonna become spoiled.
Right.
You know, you jakes out there, you gangbangers, you niggas, you know, all you niggas doing is wild shit. Why is that? Because you didn't have no father. Oh. You know?
What's that? Proverbs 22, 6, train up a child.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Bring that up.
How you doing? Right.
Train up a child in the way you should go.
Is that Proverbs 22 and 6?
Yeah. And then there's another one, to back up what you said, conquer the child.
Oh yeah.
That's in
Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says something about, and that it says something, put your foot on your son's neck.
Yeah.
The word's neck. The word neck is there.
I'm gonna see if I can find it with this.
I have Proverbs 22. Said it's bugging out.
Yeah.
This is Proverbs 22 and 6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Yep, that was Proverbs 22 and 6. And back in Hebrews 12 and 7, it says, if ye endure chastity, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? And it begins with Yahweh Shai.
I got it.
The most
chasten his beloved son.
His beloved son.
And why do you do that?
Yeah.
Because of what he did as well.
Right.
And it was all set up that way, man.
Yep, I got got it.
It was all set up that way in the spirit. Somebody give me Amos 3:1.
Amos 3, Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which is too heavy, huh? Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right, I will punish you for all your iniquities. So that's exactly what happened. And ultimately the Most High put the Spirit on us to go off so he can chastise us.
Right.
So you know what I want? Romans 8. Romans 8 and 23. Matter of fact, start at 16.
I got one for you too.
Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Yahushua.
And those are the Israelites. The elect of Israel. Go ahead.
If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
Did we not suffer with him?
Yep.
Did not the Lord say when was it John and James' mother made a statement that tell your father to put one son on this side and the other son on that side of you, along with the father. So the Most High said it's not for me to put them in a position, showing you that there's two separate persons, right?
Oh yeah.
How should I say that?
Yeah.
So he told him that are you willing to drink the cup that I will drink? And he said, yes, you are going to drink that cup. So read that again that you just read.
Yep, that says, and if children, then heirs of the Most High.
Which are the Israelites. And you devil, you Edomites, man, you got some goddamn nerve saying that you're gonna jump in front line and be all the wickedness that you did, and you haven't been judged for. Oh, give me your Psalms 15 and 16.
The one in Amos 2 for three transgressions of Edom.
Yep, Amos 1 and 11.
Yeah, Amos 1 and 11.
Psalms chapter 50 verse 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith.
The wicked are you so-called white people. Malachi 1 to tell you that.
Yep.
Edom.
Matter of fact, give me Malachi 1.
I get
Start
that.
from 1.
That's right.
So you see how it works? See how it works?
Yeah, the Spirit
Get
gets
one
in.
question.
Yeah.
You know?
It stirs.
That's called stone stew.
Yeah.
Stones too.
Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi.
Oh, pop.
Okay.
And I did that many times. I went to eat and I was laid out and I took this, took some cheese, put this together. And made it. I said, damn, this is good.
Yeah.
Take them vegetarian beans and get them Hebrew National Franks, put the movies up, put them together, and put a little maple syrup on that bad boy.
It's hips.
I can taste it.
It says, this is Malachi 1 and 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
So it all goes back to Esau and Jacob. So you're wrong, vocab. Esau was not done. Esau's still here. You're an Edomite.
Yep.
Until you prove otherwise. So you better hope like hell you're an Israelite. I mean, not an Edomite. You know, you better hope that you're an Israelite. And if you can't be an Israelite, you better hope that you can be one of them other nations.
Right.
The last nation you want to be is an Edomite.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why Esau never does. Esau covers all kind of subjects, right?
Yep.
They're all wiser than Daniel. But when it comes to Esau, they're all of a sudden they're stupid.
10-part series on the Persians.
Yep, everything on everything on anything.
Yep.
But when it comes to Esau, you get very little information because the top scholars know that they're the Edomites.
They can break down the makeup of an amoeba.
That's it.
a 7-part series on that.
Yeah.
Why the lizard, why certain lizards can walk on water, and then they show you the film in slow
Yeah.
motion.
But when
The
it
lizard-
comes to when it comes to Edomites and Esau, we
They
don't
stump,
know nothing
yeah.
about. They'll go to Genesis,
Yeah.
big smart Esau,
Yeah.
fictitious person.
And then the scripture said thou art wiser than Daniel. So how can they not know? Wait a minute, Daniel was a very wise man. So
Well,
how
they
can
do
they not
know.
know?
Hey, put up, go to Google and put up Antipater, and then put up images.
How can
Let's
they
see what he
not
looks
know?
like.
How can they not know they're Esau, Edom? They do know. They just don't want you to know.
Let's see if he looks like Mao Zedong.
Hey, like that god of the Edomites. Oh, I forgot his
Oh yeah,
name.
Barry Madden.
Looks just like a so-called,
Quas. Quas.
look like a small
You
hat.
can put in Quas. Look just like Barry Madden. Oh, here it is. Look at that vocab. That's what the Edomite looks like.
Look at that.
Somebody did a video like that.
Yeah, it was the elder Menachem Akbar. But what it was a compilation of a video that I did and a video somebody else
Oh yeah,
did.
he said that.
And when he went to my video, that was a picture that came
Oh,
up.
okay. Yeah, that show you right there, man.
Yeah, like he said, like Elder Menachem said, you look like your boss on the job.
Shit.
The supervisor that
Yep.
keep following you and giving you the write-ups.
Yep.
Now you notice, and I want you to do some reading on Antipater. You notice I didn't say go to Harod, because Harod would have looked like a Jake.
Right.
Because his mother rose back the line of the Maccabees.
Right.
So they mingle themselves with the royal line of the Maccabees. So the mother was an absolute Jake. So they look like Jakes. That's why the
Right.
Lord in Matthew 13 spoke about the tears and the wheat.
Oh, this is the Antipater, the Idumean.
Okay, good. Another one.
Antipater,
You
the
clearly
Idumean.
see that guy looks like a so-called.
Hell
He'll be invited to a KKK rally.
Yeah.
He'll be a senator.
Yep.
He'll be invited to a cross.
Or hang out with Rudy
Three-piece
Giuliani.
suit, attaché case. What's the difference? That's how you know.
Did you want some of this Antipater, Pastor?
Yeah. Read it.
This Antipater the Idumean, born 113 or 114 BCE, died 43 BCE, was the founder of the Herodian dynasty and father of Herod the Great. According to Josephus, he was the son of Antipas and had formerly held that name. He was born in Edom. His spouse was Cypros.
He was born in Edom,
Yeah.
on the land of Edom.
His issue was Herod the Great, Hazael, Pheroras, and Salome the First. Herodian dynasty, a native of Edom, southeast of Judah, between the Dead Sea and the Gulf of Akbar, which under the Romans came to be known as Idumea. Antipater became a powerful official under the later Hasmonean kings and subsequently became a client of the Roman general Pompey the Great when Pompey conquered Judah in the name of Roman Republic. When Julius Caesar defeated Pompey, Antipater rescued Caesar in Alexandria and was made chief minister of Judea. As Judah became known to the Romans with the right to collect taxes, Antipater eventually made his son Phasaelus and Herod the governor of Jerusalem and Galilee, respectively. After the assassination of Caesar, Antipater was forced to side with Gaius Cassius Longinus against Mark Antony. The pro-Roman politics of Antipater led to his increasing unpopularity among the devout, non-Hellenized Jews.
Non-Hellenized Jews. They didn't like the fact that this guy and his son Herod the Great, looked like a Jake, but they said, "Oh, here's your king."
Yeah.
So they didn't like that, man.
He died by poison.
Yep.
The diplomacy and artful politics of Antipater, as well as his insinuation into the Hasmonean court, paved the way for the rise of his son Herod the Great.
Now, when you go to the Hasmonean dynasty was the dynasty of that was set up and established by the Maccabees.
Yeah. I got a quick scripture. Matthew 11.
So, in order for you to go and understand understand these scriptures, you got to go into the history, man.
Yeah.
Matthew 11 and 12, it says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. So that's another title for those guys that you're reading about. Antipater, they were known as the violent. Who's the violent that took the kingdom of heaven, which is the nation of Israel?
Right.
Who's the violent that took them by force? The Edomites, which first they were calling themselves Greeks, then later they started calling themselves Romans. But they were all Edomites, man. Now they call themselves Americans, French, Europeans.
Yep.
But this is why the Lord said He's going to destroy the, what was that, the covering cast?
Yep.
That's Isaiah 25 and 7. So that's what this knowledge does. It destroys that covering cast over the years that Esau had put on themselves to hide themselves. That's why they did it. They don't want to be known as the Edomites. Even in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, you look up the term, what is that? Edom.
Edom, yeah.
Towards the latter part of it, it says.
Last time.
You got it?
No, I just want to show you something. It's like a puzzle, bro.
Nah, that's cool.
You want to bring it up?
You got it, Papa?
Yeah, I just gotta read it.
Huh?
What you were saying?
I gotta find it. But
Oh, what? He's getting. Oh, yeah. Pastor Tall got that. Yeah.
You want to look at it? Look at it.
Yeah. Come.
this is good. I just googled Roman Edomite.
There you are.
That came up.
Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Yeah.
Them small hand scholars, they all, most of them say the same thing. They say that the Romans were descended from the Edomites. But they don't tell you that they were also descended from the Edomites too.
Right.
Yep.
And the history clearly tells you that Antipater and the Herodian dynasty were all Edomites.
They were all Edomites, yeah.
You know?
Can't get around that.
All right, here we go. Now I'm going to show you right here, right? You can see the word Edom. Now this is the definition for Edom, right? It says Edomites, the nation and its people who were the descendants of Esau. And I think if you go into Genesis 36 and 8, it says Esau was Edom.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? He founded that country, so his name is equated with Edom. Now that word Edom in the Hebrew is Adawam, which means red. That's the color of the so-called white man, red.
Right.
Now, to the latter part, this is the important part right here, Edom, right? It says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures. Now, wait a minute, Elder Pastor always talks about prophecy.
Right.
That's prophecy too. Teach you who the so-called white man is, his future.
Yeah.
When he's going into slavery,
Yeah.
he's going to be yanked down from his power when Yahweh Shai comes.
Yeah, Edomites are an integral part of the prophetic, the new
Absolutely.
prophecies of the Most High. They're a part of it, man. So
That's it.
for vocab alone to say the Edomites were done away with,
Yeah.
that makes you. That's why nobody respects you.
Yeah,
Israelite community. You really don't understand the scripture. And you said recently on one video that you were a lay person, a layman. Look up the word. Didn't the scripture say? Didn't John say that you have an unction from the Holy One and you know all things?
Yeah.
So for you to go out and be an apologist for the Christianity, you got to know the whole Bible.
Yeah.
You don't know the prophetic parts of the Bible.
You always bring about Ezekiel. Eat the whole roll.
Read the whole row, and then go out and teach the sons of
Yep.
Israel.
That's it.
Layman. This is the second definition.
You said you was a lay person.
Yep. And not laying in the shade either.
Yep. You're a lay person in the lane. In the membrane.
Yeah. This
Go ahead.
layman, the second definition. A person without professional or specialized knowledge in a particular subject.
But he acts like he's a specialist. You're not a specialist, man.
Exactly.
The only
You're
special.
not a specialist, man.
You cannot teach the professor.
You cannot teach the professor.
That's why, what's his name gave him the boot. What's his name?
Dr. James White.
Dr.
Oh,
James
yeah,
White.
yeah.
He didn't want, he said, I can't be associated with this guy. This is lame.
Now, James White would be considered not a layman, but an expert, you know? Even though he doesn't understand it, he got it wrong.
That's why he left us alone. He said, look,
Yeah.
he said, but not vocab. Anyway, let me finish reading this. It says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures, prophecy, right? As the scene of great future judgments. Now this is in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Yep.
Okay?
Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that
That's one
follows.
of the prophecies. Where is that from?
Second Ezra 6.
There you go, 2nd Ezra 6.
Yep.
Right? It says, I'll read it again. Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgments. Then it gives you some references, scriptural references. See notably Isaiah 34:5. Read that.
And 6.
And the 6th verse.
Yep.
Also Isaiah 63:1. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Heavenly Father.
So when did that happen? When did that happen? When did that happen?
Vocab. Yeah, brothers.
Give me Psalm 15:16.
It's what? It's supposed to be summer. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right. That's all right.
I got it.
Yeah. No, this feels good compared to the.
Yesterday was scorching.
Yeah.
Like what, 90 something?
Yeah, it
Almost 100.
was uncomfortable.
All right, who's got it?
Other Apostle
Also,
Hayes.
somebody give me Amos 1 verse 11.
He said Psalms 50 and 6, right? Papa?
Psalm 15:16.
16, slack.
I'll get it.
Okay.
Another
Psalm,
one, you can give me Lamentations 4:21 and 22.
Okay.
Jeremiah, well, I'll give you that one in a minute.
all right, Psalms chapter 50, verse 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
Now quickly go to Isaiah, is that Isaiah 26:10? Give
Yeah.
me that. Isaiah 26:10.
Yeah, because Esau, you weren't given the law. You took on the law, but you weren't given it. The only nation that was given the law, pursuant to, what is that, Psalm 78 and 5, is the nation of Israel. We were actually given, our forefather Moses actually gave us the law.
Right.
But you weren't given the law. You took it on,
Right.
and then you went about perverting the law, which you still do to this very day, man.
Yeah, the other nations were never given this law,
Right.
these
It
laws,
is.
statutes, commandments. Isaiah 26 and 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord.
Yeah, they over in the land, and if that's a fulfillment of prophecy of the Israelites' right to return and all that, then there would be no more war.
Yeah.
Right.
Pursuant to Isaiah 2 and 2.
There will be no more weapons.
And
Yep.
going,
Was that Micah 4? I think it is.
Yep.
Micah 4 and 2.
well, let's go back to that forefather. Right? That is, you had the oral law of how to sacrifice. What does
Right.
Cain do? He sacrifices fruit.
Right.
And then he gets mad when the Heavenly Father says, that shit.
Right.
That's what the Heavenly Father basically I know.
And thou do as well.
Yeah, then he said, now how do you do well? The law,
Yeah.
which shows you they had the law of sacrifice back then. But
Yep.
Cain couldn't, and that's why Cain became known as the wicked one. Wicked. And that's your forefather, Esau, Cain.
That's it.
Which the word Cain means weapon. Qayan in
Yeah.
the Hebrew, it means weapon. And what do you believe in, Esau? You believe in your weapons.
Oh, yeah.
You don't believe in the Heavenly Father.
That was his blessing, the sword. That's how he got the world.
Everything points to you as being the Edomites, the wicked,
Yeah.
a.k.a. the wicked,
And, that,
a.k.a. the devil, a.k.a. Satan.
Yeah.
and you know what we're doing? We're doing what the Apostle Paul prophesied more than 2,000 years ago. He said, and that man of sin be revealed.
Matter of fact, get me that,
Son
because I
of
was thinking
perdition.
about that. Give me that, give me that.
That man of sin be
Start at
revealed.
the 3rd verse.
And we ain't, look,
We're going to read down this time.
that's right. Look, we're not, oh God, we got to
We ain't jumping around
reveal.
like the house of pain.
Yeah.
That's right.
Today.
We're not feeling sorrow, we got to reveal you.
No Hebrew hopscotch.
Yep.
Yep, we're not feeling sorrow, we got to reveal you. We're happy as hell to reveal you. Because that's the beginning of the end. That's the beginning of your life. You got it.
Right. Second Thessalonians, they say it's mad.
Yeah.
Second
Talking about in
Thessalonians.
general.
Yeah. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse
Boy,
3.
that went on me talking about do the Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like years ago when
Ah!
yeah, you're right. Years ago when the wind took the oil table, Pastor Elderton's oil table.
Oh, shit.
Yo, man, the oil table went whoop, whoop.
Oh, shit.
And then Pastor said, "Come on, wind!" Like jumped in the spirit. "Come on, wind!" I'll never forget that. The freaking oil table just it looked like
It
a
levitated.
Remember that. Like, was that
lifted in the air, the whole table, bro. Gone.
I think that's the first time I heard it. That's good.
Now I heard it before, but the first.
I was right there. We were working on the oil table. This was on the 44th floor.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. It says, let no
And you
man.
know why Satan did that? Because we had just came back from cursing out the what was that? Rockefeller thing. When they put up the tree, we went up there. You took us all the way up there, and we were cursing out them. This is blasphemy. The Christmas tree thing, lighted the Christmas tree.
Oh, that's the day when you got lost.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
had to said, fuck him.
Yeah. And then you know what's heavier? This Jake woman, she came up, she looked at me, and she looked at me and she went, because I didn't know where to go.
Right.
And then she goes like this. She looks at me and she goes like this. And then
That's the spirit.
I got it right. Oh yeah, go down this way. Because I got
Spirit.
lost.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right.
Instinct.
It says, let no man
She didn't
deceive
talk or
you.
anything. She had
Yeah.
a cold look.
Hey, well, that show you when that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show you when the time comes, the Lord is going to direct His men where they got to go.
Yeah.
Gotta worry.
Hey, remember what the Lord told Paul? Don't worry. There's plenty of people here that are for you, something like that, or for me.
Hey, well, we didn't choose to come into this, man. How much jail should I put the spirit on us? I wanted to be a musician. And here I am teaching the gospel on the street. It's his will, not mine.
Yep.
No? Go ahead, bro.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come.
All right.
For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. And
Yeah,
that
that's talking about, now, again, like Pastor said, you got to go back to the history.
right.
That's talking about the fall of Jerusalem. It started around 67 AD, going to 70 AD. Right? Go ahead.
All right. It says, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Right, the man of sin is talking about Esau, Edom. And
Where you reading from? What
That
verse?
was 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
Okay.
yeah, the man of sin is talking
Like I
about
said, we're going to read now. We're going to read it.
the man of sin is talking about Esau, Edom.
Yeah.
And you got plenty of examples. Let's start with Cain. Hell, even before that, let's start with the serpent, which the serpent had to be an Edomite. The serpent lied to Eve. The serpent said, look, if you take on this knowledge of wickedness, you shall be as gods,
Right.
knowing good and evil, but you shall not die. That's where the serpent lied, because when we took on the knowledge of wickedness, we did die. That's why there was a saying, through women we all die.
Right.
Of the woman came the beginning of sin,
yeah.
and through her we all die.
Yeah.
So the serpent lied. Go ahead. This is why Yahushua said he was a liar from the beginning
Right.
and abode not in the truth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High.
Now, that's talking about when Esau came over here, what did he bring with him? He brought his
Image.
form of Christianity.
Right.
Yeah.
He brought the Renaissance.
Right.
The Renaissance or Renaissance art, let's deal with the word Renaissance art. As a matter of fact, look up the word Renaissance. Then look up the word Renaissance art. This is the reason why so many Jakes is leaving Christianity and they coming all over to Israel, man, because it makes sense.
Yeah. Like the Lord
got
said,
Renaissance.
I will feed you. How's that? Jeremiah 3:15. I will feed you with knowledge and understanding. Jeremiah 3. I will give you pastors after my
Right.
own
Oh,
heart,
right.
who shall
Feed
feed you.
you with knowledge and
Right,
understanding.
right. This is the
That's another
definition.
good precept. Jeremiah 2. Jeremiah 3. Jeremiah, that's a mighty book.
Mighty prophet. Jeremiah was a mighty prophet.
And he was a kid too.
Yeah. He was known as the weeping prophet. Then he had his man Baruch wrote the book of Lamentations for Jeremiah. Baruch was a scribe.
And the book of Ruth.
Yep, and the book.
Yeah, I think it was them that they hid the ark of the covenant.
Jeremiah, yep.
Jeremiah and Baruch.
Yeah, that's mentioned.
Yeah, I think it was. I think an angel helped them out to hide it so where nobody could find. Yeah, because there was people
because
following.
there was no need for it because you know when Yahushua said Cain, he was the
Ark of the Covenant.
the Ark of the
Yeah,
Covenant.
right.
You know?
Yeah, that's why you had two angels, one at the
Exactly.
foot, one at the
That
foot.
was, you had his body. You had one angel like this, the other angel like that. That's an Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, that's right.
He's an Ark of the Covenant. You don't need no physical Ark of the Covenant.
You still got Israelites believe you need the physical ark. Where's the Ark of the Covenant? Where's in search of the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, he's the mercy seat.
Right.
The Lord Most High would appear on the mercy seat, and pretty much now the Lord don't have to come down because Yahushua is up there now.
And it said, Revelation 21 that the Lord is going to dwell with men.
Yeah.
And we're going to rule forever. The saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. So that kills that what Lahab said about 1,000 years in the kingdom. He saw. And you know what? I know Lahab saw the phobia of Quanah. Self-proclaimed elder Quanah saw it, and he didn't go to Lahab. Now, if Lahab was humble, he would repent and say, I was wrong on that. He ain't going to say he's wrong on that, because that man still got pride in him, man.
Yeah, there was one video you didn't. I was a demon.
Yeah, I kind of
lost it.
Yeah, I lost it. Because ultimately, he plays that. He plays well. A lot of these guys. We're talking about certain guys that play that. It's all about love.
Yeah.
It's all about love and happiness.
Love and happiness.
But anyway, them guys are demons, man.
Yeah.
You can tell by the spirit.
Yeah. Well, that's that church spirit. You know, that's how they come with that love and happiness spirit.
Love and happiness. Happiness.
That's a bad cut. Oh,
Yeah.
He said love and happiness.
Yeah, that guitar.
Yeah.
There was one song you were singing. You said Apostle the Boss cracking up right about
Yeah.
I forgot what song.
I think it was Ain't Nobody.
Yeah, Ain't Nobody. Dr. Khan. Yeah, that was. And as you said it, I was watching. It was live. I was cracking up. I started getting them notes.
You know, because I was using the example of Isaac and Rebecca. You know.
And Chaka was feeling in that song.
All right, the definition of the word Renaissance: the revival of art and literature under the influence of classical models in the 14th to 16th centuries.
Right.
So what happened before the 14th and 16th centuries? You had Jake ruling. You had icons.
Byzantine Empire.
Byzantine Empire.
Medieval times.
Which was Jake.
Right.
Medieval times. When you look up medieval times, it's also called, Dark Ages or medieval times.
Right.
They say, well, there was not too much going. Basically, when you read it, matter of fact, go ahead and bring it on up.
Dark Ages.
Yeah, Dark Ages.
Yeah, which pretty much that was that scripture. It says, "Many days and years shall you be without a prophet or a king or something like that." It was like that. Yeah, no prophet was coming up saying, "Look, go do this and go do that."
Look at this.
You know.
It says the Dark Ages is a term for the early Middle Ages or Middle Ages in Western Europe after the fall of the Western Roman Empire that characterizes.
Okay, so now let's deal with the Roman Empire. You had one Roman Empire, you had the Eastern Roman Empire, you had the Western Roman Empire. That's why you had that symbol of the eagle looking both ways.
Right.
Over in the East and the West. There was a split. The Western Roman Empire was ruled by Esau, starting with the first 12 from Caesar to Domitian, right? Then Nerva came in. That's when Jake ruled. And their kingdom fell, and the Roman Empire that remained was the Eastern Roman Empire, which was ran by Jake. So that was really the Dark Ages.
Yep.
So go ahead. Read it again.
It says, the Dark Ages is a term for the early Middle Ages, or Middle Ages in Western Europe, after the fall of the Western Roman Empire,
Esau fall.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
that characterizes it as marked by economic, intellectual, and cultural decline.
Yeah, like America does now. They've been putting up, setting up camp and all these. America got their nose in the Korean shit. And I'm sorry, Taiwan and China shit. They got their nose in the Ukraine and Russia shit.
Oh well, the Ukraine, they don't want to come out and say it, but the Russians took it over.
Yep, pretty much.
They said it doesn't have to take over the whole Ukraine.
Right.
What is it? The
Mariupol and the main parts.
Donetsk.
Mhm.
Once they take all of that, that's
Yeah,
it. you
That's
know?
it. There's
And then
one-
you got a lot of Ukrainian men fighting that were not professional fighters. They were civilians. They're just giving up.
Yeah.
And it's also saying that about 1,000 of them a day is dying.
I
And
believe
they
that.
blew down. They blew up two. I think it was 2 or 3 major bridges that you can't get in or can't get out on. So they really got you, man.
Yeah, they got.
I
Yeah,
believe.
for somebody to believe that the Ukraine can take down Mother Russia, come
Yeah.
on, man. That person need
Yeah, on crack.
Yeah.
brain transplant.
That's called propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have a place called, I believe it's called Odessa.
Yeah, Odessa.
Right, that's
the
what-
key.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The key cities is Donetsk,
Donetsk,
Odessa, Mariupol.
Mariupol, yep.
Kyiv is the capital.
Right.
Yeah, if you own that, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they do is they take down the local government, they take down the mayors, governors, whatever they are, and they kill so many men that they have to sit down and negotiate.
Yeah, because that Odessa, that's where they ship out the grains and all that, the wheat.
You know, another thing that the world market needs is neon. You know when you make neon signs, you know why they're low on chips? They're short on chips because you got to stack chips.
Right.
And what do you use to stack the chip to make a chip? Like on your car. Your car is just a computer on wheels.
Right.
They stack it with neon, neon gases. And look it up.
Look it up.
Look it up. Look it up. Nigga.
That's what I started laughing. I thought you were gonna say.
Put in neon. Neon. See what it says about neon. This is why people in the Christian church that are coming to Israel.
Yeah,
Because
man.
you don't get this in the church.
No answers in the fucking churches, man.
Now they're trying to be like us. Now they're going to the history.
Yeah.
Charge.
Yeah.
You been charged. This is
Yeah.
you know, allied.
Yeah.
Man, man, get out of
Yeah,
here.
like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
his
weak.
name? The Sergeant Waters guy.
Oh no, well he loves us, man.
Yeah.
He loves us.
What the hell is his
He got
name?
this guy, yeah, Sergeant Waters.
That's his name,
Gino
Sergeant.
Jennings.
Gino Jennings.
And he's on the case, man.
Yeah. Gino Jennings.
Yeah, what's his name? Tony Haven, I think his name is. He did a video maybe about a month ago where it was all about, it was a live stream. So he was answering questions, and he was basically dedicated to the Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, damn.
Bottom line is, Tony Haven, I believe he's sincere,
I
but he
never
just
heard
doesn't know. He's the guy that puts all the Gino Jennings.
Okay,
He puts
okay.
it on
Oh, yeah.
his page.
Okay.
Spain,
So you
right.
can see that when he's talking and he's asking questions, he really doesn't. He needs somebody to help him. You know, like the Ethiopian eunuch. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
how can I understand except some man guide me?
Got you.
You needed to be guided by a man or men.
Romans the 10th chapter.
Romans 10. Yeah?
Talks about.
Oh, the back of
You can't get it directly from the Most High.
Yep. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord. Isaiah 54:13.
Through men.
Yeah, and that lines up with Romans 10.
Right.
How shall they teach except they be sent?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it says understanding the science behind the neon shortage. Roughly 70% of neon produced in the world is used in semiconductor chip manufacturing, and supply chain issues might cause big disruption.
Doesn't say anything about where it come from. It should tell you where it come. Where the
Well, you know what? Let me.
I
go
found
back.
something.
you can put a Ukraine's how can I word
I found something.
Ukraine substances or Ukraine's what does the Ukraine produce? Does the Ukraine how much does Ukraine produce in neon?
It says here exclusive. This is Reuters. Russia's attack on Ukraine halts half of world's neon output for chips.
That's a whole lot. That's why there's shortages. And that's why used cars are more than new cars.
Yeah.
Because the new car's not going to go except they put the chip. In order to make a chip, you have to stack a chip. And to stack a chip, you need neon gases. The same stuff that you see the neon signs in the
Right.
barbershop, that's what you need. And 50% of that it comes from Ukraine.
Man, look at that.
Damn.
The Europe is the breadbasket. Is in Europe is Ukraine. Europe, the rest of Europe gets fed because of the wheat that come out of
Ukraine, yeah.
Ukraine, and it affects us right now.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest European country, Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, Russia as a whole is bigger
Right.
Yeah.
because the Ukraine was a part of the former.
Right.
They're just trying to bring it back together.
Yeah.
Assembly of great nations.
Yep.
From
That's
the
right.
north.
That's right.
which according to Bible prophecy is eventually going to happen. Russia is going to come back together because the Heavenly Father said, I'm going to use you, Russia, to sanctify myself.
I shall put hooks in thy jaws.
Yep.
Right. And he also said, I shall be sanctified in thee, O God. God represents Russia. So the Lord is going to bring back Russia and fire up Russia to come against America, shoot missiles on America. That's all Bible prophecy.
Yeah, I think Putin. I messed up his name.
Sometimes I say it like
I say Putin, but Putin a couple of days ago he mentioned one of the old kings of Russia or one of the czars. I forgot his
Peter the
name.
Great.
Peter the Great.
He
He said,
compares himself to Peter the Great.
"Yep." He said because Peter
He
the
probably is Peter the Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
The spirit that's on him is of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh.
Yeah.
Through His Son Yahweh Shai. The spirit on him is to bring back Mother Russia.
Yeah.
And he will do it because that's Bible prophecy.
If you had Jeremiah 50, I believe it's either 8, 9, 12, around there.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that whole, matter of fact, you know what, brother? I hate to say this, but start from one.
I got it.
yeah, that's pursuant to
We're going to read Jeremiah 50 and Jeremiah 50.
pursuant to Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Go ahead.
So, Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 1, the word of the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations and publish, set up a standard, publish and conceal not.
So who's doing the publishing? Us.
Prophets.
We are.
Right. Yeah.
This truth shall be preached or published throughout the whole world, then the end shall come.
Right.
Yeah, I think the word publish means people.
Right.
Yeah, people. Yeah, publish. Give it to the public.
Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard.
Because the Most High made us, pursuant to Jeremiah 1, a prophet unto the nations.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why
Israel.
we know who Esau is. That's how we know who Moab is and Ammon. That's how we know who Israel is. We just don't know about who Israel is. We know who the Edomites are.
Yeah,
The churches don't teach that.
Yeah, the other nations.
And the IUIC is mad at you, church. That's why they coming out there not trying to wake you up, but they gonna wake you up.
Right. Go ahead.
Those that you might as well go to you might as well go to a cemetery, try to wake them up.
Yeah. Better look. Yeah. It says, declare ye among the nations and publish, set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken. Bel,
Churches can't ask any church, what does that mean by Babylon is taken? What is Jeremiah 50, what is it, 51?
Yep.
50, I'm sorry.
50,
What is
51.
Jeremiah 50 and 1? Is Jeremiah... What does it mean by Babylon is taken? They don't know. They don't have to answer to that.
Don't know.
Vocab doesn't have to answer to that. Because he doesn't understand prophecy. Remember, you said you were a layman,
Yeah.
a lay person. You're not an expert on the Bible.
Yeah.
We are experts on the Bible.
Yeah, you learn it from messing with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you getting your game up by watching us. Not us, but the other Israelites.
Yeah.
And you always get your ass kicked, man.
Babylon is taken. Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. And in the book in the Apocrypha, in the story of Bel and the Dragon, it was Daniel blew up I think it was a bell. He made like a little bomb and put it in his mouth and blew his ass up, which is synonymous to us. Like, if I'm not saying that we are gonna do that, and we're not saying for you brothers to do that, but that's like going into one of these Catholic churches and blowing up Serapis or what we call Caesar Borgia.
Well, we're doing that with the word.
We're doing it with the
Yeah.
word. We're doing spiritually.
Yeah, the word is the,
They would have
As
Lord
it is
said we're
written.
supposed to burn their images.
yeah.
Yeah.
As it is written, the weapons of our warfare are not
carnal.
carnal,
Right.
but mighty through the
Pulling down.
pulling down the stronghold.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Can you have priests going in there with their families late at night when their congregation went home, and after the congregation brought food and everything for Bel, the priests of Bel, you know, they were like, yeah, you know, this, you know, our God is real and all that. And then Daniel was like, nah, man, this God is fake. He said, look, I'm gonna prove it to you. And then I think Daniel put powder on the floor. He said, look, by this time tomorrow night, you're gonna see if you know if this God is real or not. And then they did the same thing they did the night before or something like that.
Right.
And they
Yeah,
found
yeah, yeah.
and they
That's
all
found
the
footprints
footprints
of women, men, women, and children.
Yeah.
And he said, see, and then the food was gone. He said, no, the God ate it. He said, no, God didn't, you
Look
know.
at the footprint.
He said, look at the footprint. Look at the
I
footprints.
think they put all those people to death or something like
I
that.
forget. But I know he blew that God up. That fake God.
Yeah, the word is the weapon right now. I
Yeah.
got a quick precept
Yeah.
there. Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord, power of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. So that's the real weapon right now. This word, this truth.
Yeah, so we don't need to go into no churches to take out the Virgin Mary statues and Caesar Borgia.
Well, the
statues.
Lord said He gonna visit the idols of Egypt
Yeah.
and the idols of Babylon, Bel, and you know, Molech and all that.
Okay.
Right.
It says Jeremiah 50:2. It says, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces.
Now, their images are broken in pieces. Anything that this man put up, the Renaissance.
Right.
We all as children believe because our mothers said that this is Jesus. All your churches, all your so-called black churches, you all had a picture of Caesar Borgia in there. Some of y'all are beginning to put up a picture of a so-called black Jesus. All right?
Right.
And that's,
What- go ahead.
I'm sorry. That's happening through teaching this word. Like the Apostle Paul said, that man is sin and guilt. So Merodach's, Babylon's images are being destroyed with this word
Yeah.
by the prophets. The prophets bringing out this word, bringing
Yeah.
out this truth.
Yeah, real quick, give me 2 Corinthians 10 verse 4.
That's
Matter
how
of fact, start at 1. Keep pointing in 4.
Yeah, that's how powerful this word is. This knowledge, this truth.
And that's why they demonize us like we're gonna get physical. Look, all the information that you got on this, we just teaching the scriptures.
Hey, Pastor, that what I was reading earlier, the Dark Ages, it said the concept of a dark age originated in the 1330s with the Italian scholar Petrarch, and that's when Esau started taking over. Regarded the post-Roman centuries as dark.
That 1330s, yeah, that's when we started going down.
The Turks.
Yep.
Because from 300 to 325, Constantine the Great was the first sitting on the throne. And when we went down, started going down, was in the 1300s.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says, who regarded the post-Roman centuries as dark compared to the light of classical antiquity.
Yeah, because dark people were ruling. Jake was ruling.
Yep.
2 Corinthians 10:1.
And that's Revelation 20. So we got to read that. Renaissance. Revelation 20. That's the Renaissance period, man.
Renaissance.
Rebirth.
Yeah.
The word Renaissance.
Yep.
Yeah, because at one time Esau was alive, Esau was cast down, and Esau came back alive again.
Yep.
If you don't put Esau in the mix, you all confused, man.
Well, we read the definition.
Esau is here.
Earlier we read the definition.
Yeah.
We're seeing a great future judgment. No, so where is it?
where is he?
When did it take place?
Where's
There's got to be a history, got to be a documentary on it. In search of
Wait.
Esau's devastation.
Source up. Source up.
Saw something shut the F up. And look, this is for you niggas out there, man. Why you give this guy a platform? Now people get on us, well, all you guys talk about is vocab. When we get on vocab, it's because vocab talking shit about us.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So we coming back, you know, we're
Defending the gospel.
Defending the gospel.
defending the gospel,
Yep,
you know,
that's right.
because he doesn't have the gospel. Then this nigga did a video the other day, yesterday, with the big fat nigga from Brooklyn. There's this one had on. They did a whole video on First Magazine.
I thought they don't deal with the Apocrypha.
That's my that's my thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? Now let's go to that real quick.
First-
Let's go to that First Maccabee.
Three.
First Maccabee 3 and 48. You already know that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And how have we ever did a whole thing on that particular verse?
Start at the 48th verse, right?
Yep.
First Maccabees 3 and 48. It said, and laid open the book of the law.
You know what? Go up a couple of
Okay.
verses so we can get the understanding of what actually happened. This was an actual physical thing that happened under the orders of Antiochus Epiphanes when they raided sacked the temple.
This is First Maccabee 3 and 45. Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and the aliens kept the stronghold. The heathen had their habitations in that place.
Now stop right there. Now give me Daniel 8, and you go right to the point. Go to the point of really you got to read the whole story. So. Go to the point of
Antiochus.
the king of Greco. Start from around there. Churches don't know this.
no,
I hope
no.
you're taking notes. Son, the boys, they Gino Jennings.
Daniel's
Now, go into the book of Daniel 8 chapter. See the spirit came to me.
Congregation.
Take them notes.
Come
The
on.
Israelites don't know this.
Daniel's.
Said earlier, all these Christians are up in their game by watching us.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 8, verse 20. The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
What does Greece mean? Greeks. They're talking about Alexander.
The Greeks.
Read again.
Okay? The ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
The Medo-Persian Empire. That's also spoken of in Daniel chapter 2 and Daniel chapter 7.
Yeah. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
Right, which he was also known as the leopard in Daniel 7. Go ahead.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
That's the first king. That's Alexander. Could you do me a favor?
Yep.
Go to the commentary. You know, the Bible Hub commentary. And put what verse is that?
That was the 22nd verse. I'm sorry, that was the 21st verse of Daniel's 8th chapter.
Verse does it say, in that 21st verse, does it say the king of Greco?
It says
On the 22nd verse.
in the 21st verse it says.
Okay, so go to a commentary. And then, like I said, what I always say about the Bible Hub commentary, that they're either hit or miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what this is.
Like I went to one of them commentaries. Oh, I went to Daniel, Daniel 7 and 9 and 10. And when I read the commentary, you know what they said? They said that's the judgment of the Gentiles, or the judgment to the Gentiles.
Oh, the Ancient of Days that sit.
Right. No, they didn't want to deal with that.
Look at that.
But they did say that's the Lord's judgment on the Gentiles,
Yeah, which is true.
which is yet to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Barnes' notes on the Bible. Let's go straight to the 20. It says, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king, Alexander the Great, the first that consolidated the whole power, and that was known in the east as the king of Greece. So he is expressly called in 1 Maccabees 1:1, the first over Greece.
Wait a minute, the Apocrypha is not valid though.
No, the Bible, they give.
No, but that's what vocab says.
Yeah, well, first of all, motherfucker vocab. They ain't even the layman. Vocab, we got to call him, instead of calling him Haman, we're going to call him layman.
Haman the layman.
Haman the layman.
Haman the layman. Vocab.
The layman.
Haman the layman, lame man. The lame man.
Couldn't rap the president.
Yeah. Oh Lord. It says the 1 Maccabees 1:1, the first over Greece. The first over Greece. Philip, his father, was opposed in his attempts to conquer Greece and was defeated. Alexander invaded Greece, burned Thebes, compelled the Athenians to submit, and was declared generalissimo of the Grecian forces against the Persians.
Yeah, that's what I watched the movie again, the 300. That's what that was all about.
Yeah.
When that happened, that was the fulfillment of what we're reading right now.
Yeah, they keep saying the same thing.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we needed. That's all we needed. So let's read that again.
All right, Daniel 8, verse 20. It says, the ram which thou sawest, having 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia. Verse 21.
So
And
now, in order for you to truly understand this, all right, you have to know the history.
Yes.
You read the prophecy. You know what Christians do when they read stuff like that? What do they go to? What's their go-to answer?
Yeah, the Antichrist.
The one horn represents east, and the other horn represents the west.
Yeah, the Antichrist.
That's it. That's the Antichrist again. The little horn is the Antichrist's son. You saw the movie The Omen with the 666. That's why motherfuckers are leaving the niggas, you Jakes, is leaving the damn Christian church and coming over to Israel, man.
yeah, man.
What they call that, the boilerplate scripture.
Yeah, blanket.
The cookie cutter
Blanket.
Cookie cutter scripture. I got something real quick. This is Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
That's what you don't have, understanding.
Right.
Like they still to this day, they teach that Daniel, the 9th chapter, starting from about the 24th verse down to the end, which is like with the 28th, 29th verse, I believe 27th verse. They'll read that and they'll say, that's talking about the Antichrist and the rapture. No, it's not talking about
Right.
that. Daniel, the 9th chapter, that prophecy was fulfilled already.
Yep.
That was Antiochus. Daniel 9.
No, that was
They're talking about.
No, that was talking about
70 weeks.
that was people get, when they see it, when they go to that, they think of Antiochus. So it's 2 times. Like if you go to Daniel 12, go to Daniel 12 real quick. Go to Daniel 12 and 10.
Yeah, that's me.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, many shall be purified and made white
That's us.
and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand.
We are the wise. Go ahead.
And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days.
Now that's talking about what? That's talking about 70 AD. What the Lord talked about was the abomination that maketh desolate. Over in the book of Daniel.
Right.
That's what our Lord was quoting. Daniel 12. Daniel 12.
It said, blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 1,305 days. Okay. Yeah, that thing keeps melting. Yeah. It says, but go thou thy way to the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days.
That's reincarnation.
Reincarnation, right there.
All the way. Yep.
So we're in our life.
Yeah, what was Daniel's lot? To be a prophet.
Yeah, so Daniel is most likely back. Could be one of us. Could be one of the brothers out in one of the states, you know?
Yeah.
Could be one of the men from one of the other camps.
Yeah,
I was going through Acts, the second chapter, around about the 27th verse around here. And he said here, David is still here in the sepulcher and all that.
Yep.
He didn't know that he was talking about himself.
Himself.
Now the Lord could have told him, you know, you David, but he didn't tell him. But he did tell them who Elijah, who John was.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And he told them who he was. He told them, look, basically he told them, look, I'm the son of the Heavenly Father. I'm the first spirit created.
Can't see it.
It's right on the branch. There's a bee on the branch. A big bee. It's on the branch. It just latched on. Right there it goes. It just moved.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, he's trying to get this honey.
Trying to get that nectar.
Good.
Okay,
So,
so
oh man, you blew my spot.
Yeah. He latched
I
on
gotta
that.
leave.
so back in Daniel 8:21, it says, "And the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king."
So now this is what one of your scholars, not layman,
Right.
an expert in the Bible. You small in the Bible.
I knew it was coming.
Small in the Bible. Go ahead.
Now that
Oh, this guy, Kandazak did a video breaking down. What was he breaking down? But he was getting down. He was on point. Oh, he was breaking down Revelation 13, right? When he opened it up, he said, "It's not talking about no damn shit." But then he started breaking it. But he was breaking everything else. He broke down. You know, I said, "God damn, get down, get down, Cap." You know.
Right.
Get down.
And you're gonna eat your every last one of you gonna eat your words on Revelation 13, 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Which
That's it.
means they see it, but that's
Yeah.
that pride.
Yeah, that's that pride.
That's
That's
that
that
pride.
pride,
Now
yeah.
we can't let them know
You
that.
see, you
they're right.
notice we haven't budged.
Yep.
We haven't said, well, we could be wrong. No, we are right. Ain't no could be, ain't no maybe. I don't know. Let me look over it again. We know.
Yeah. And it's becoming more and more evident as each day goes by. Hey, that woman at the World Economic Forum, she was saying that they're switching everything over to digital so that they can keep track of everything. You know.
yeah.
Yeah, control.
They're
That's
gonna make you a smartphone.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
That's what Alex Jones said when Aaron Russo was
Interviewing.
when he was interviewing Aaron Russo. Aaron Russo was breaking it down. He said total control.
That's it.
Alex Jones said total control.
Yeah, he said that, man. It's a profound word.
Yeah.
He said,
exactly how it's.
and this was before the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Hey, remember the movie Total Recall, the newer one? This guy.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see it? This guy. He had an actual phone in his hand.
I seen part of it.
Yeah,
I seen part of it.
and then he had cut like his wrist around the hand part, and he pulled the phone out, and it was
I remember that.
the
scene.
one, the 1, 2 through 9 and 0. It was right in his hand.
That's Esau's plan.
Yeah, IOB.
Yep.
Yeah, to make people basically control robots.
Yep.
After he do away with what 6.5 billion people.
7.5. Yeah.
7.5 billion people. Because
That's billion people.
Yeah.
that's part of his plan too, and that lines up with what is that? Revelation 6, and there was given him a great sword.
Right.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
let me get
And you know,
it right
there's this article out where, you know how you have a lot of these employers that can't find workers to work with them, and they have a whole lineup of robotic,
Oh yeah.
robots
Oh yeah.
to flip burgers and cook
That's it,
fries.
that's it, yeah.
Then they have like a lot of people are leaving Amazon and they're showing you robots stacking boxes. You know.
In that movie Dark City, it was a scene where they had I forget exactly. It was either a laundromat or a fucking store, and you walk in, there's nobody working in there. It's just you pay the machine, it gives you what you want, and you walk out.
I think it was called an automat.
Automat.
Well, they
Yeah,
used to have
automat.
automats
Yeah.
back in the day when I was
Yeah.
a kid. They had the
Oh, shit, look at that.
They had the sandwich, you put the money in and it'll open
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
You had a couple of
Yeah,
people
yeah,
working
yeah.
in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there was a video, I don't know if it was in Japan or in America, but there was a video of an actual, it looked like a big box. It was a store. And there was no perk in there, nothing like that. And and you use your credit card to go in there,
Right.
and you get tater chips, this, that,
Right.
third, orange juice, whatever,
Right.
and you grab it up, and it would take it out of your cart. Then you have the app, what is this? The Amazon Go.
Yeah, Amazon Go.
Amazon Go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go to Google and put in Amazon Go. You see all this information you're
Yeah.
getting, vocab?
Yeah. Yeah.
We trying to educate
We
you.
trying to
on it.
help.
Yeah, which is all leading to a cashless society. The dollar is about to be
So
No
General
good, no.
Yohana and
Captain Katazar.
General Yohana and his crew and Bishop Nathaniel, they're gonna have to eat their words, man.
Here we go. Amazon Go. It says, here's Amazon. Hold on. You know what? Let me just go back to the front. I gave it. Amazon Go is a new kind of store featuring the world's most advanced shopping technology. No lines, no checkouts, just grab and go.
So how do they get your money? Through your account, through your smartphone. What
Credit.
are they ultimately gonna do? They're gonna get it from the chip that's in your right hand, left hand, butt cheek, or forehead.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Ooh, check it out. Amazon Go is a chain of convenience stores in the United States and the United Kingdom, operated by online retailer Amazon. The stores are cashierless, thus partially automated, with customers able to purchase products without being checked out by a cashier or using a self-checkout station.
Even in some of the supermarkets, you'll notice that terminals, there's no cashier. There's no person.
Oh, that's most of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Like BJ's, Sam's Club, Costco's, Target,
Target.
all those major supermarkets too. There's always and I always go to the self checkout.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I mean I use the cash. You can use
Cards.
certain like not the last time, but the time before that I went to BJ's, right? And I got a bunch of things. I decided to accept cash because I like to use cash.
Right.
But it didn't come up cash. It said only credit or debit. So I got cash. I said, I took out my debit
Right.
card, credit card, and I paid for it that
Yeah.
way. You know?
Yeah, because convenient or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That movie Minority Report, when Tom Cruise, after he did his, he took somebody's eye because they were looking for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was the top.
There was, Mr. Yakamoto.
Yeah, forget his
He
name.
went into the gap.
Yeah.
He said, good afternoon, Mr. Yakamoto.
Yep. They already knew.
Because they scanned the eye.
Retina scan.
Retina scan. Ultimately, what they're going to do is they're going to scan the chip in your forehead.
Right.
You'll either pass by, they'll scan it,
Yep.
or you put your hand there on your forehead.
Yep.
Hey, these phones now, when you go to the settings, they have a setting called biometrics and security.
Yeah, where you put the fingerprint. Yep.
Face recognition,
Yep,
fingerprints.
yep, which I don't
Not
fuck
me
with
either.
that.
Me either.
So they slowly, and for you guys that can't see this shit, and for you guys like the leaders of IUIC and the leadership of the
ISUPK.
if you can't see this, man, I don't know.
Either you took the
Either
bag,
you took the bag,
Right, or you
or
dumbass.
the Most High just didn't open your eyes to this.
cold blinded.
I mean,
Done.
That's it.
so where we at?
Daniel's 8.
I still got
Cross,
that.
like.
I still got that first Maccabees if you want that. First Maccabee 3:45. It says, now Jerusalem laid void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in and out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold. The heathen had their habitation in that place, and joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased. Wherefore the Israelites
Because we're musical people. All genres of music in America came from Jacob. All of it, man.
It says, wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Maspha over against Jerusalem, for Maspha was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth, and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes.
We got sackcloth on today.
And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So what does that mean? It simply means when they sacked the temple, they put a pig where the altar is. They put a pig there, a swine. They tore everything up, right?
Yep.
And then they opened up the scroll, and they said somebody took whatever writing utensil, paint or whatever, and and they drew pictures of themselves.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the only thing that happened.
Like
It
iconoclasm.
was the iconoclasm, defilement. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
And there was no pictures in the Torah and the scroll. It was just the Torah written in the Hebrew.
Right.
So how the hell you gonna make a whole video of that?
You Edomite, you did that.
And I would sit down and watch the whole video, but I ain't got no time to watch. I ain't got the patience to watch that stupid video. And why would you get on us about a book that you don't even accept?
Yeah, exactly.
Like they say, it's not
Valid. Canonized.
canonized, and I use the term Texas receptus,
Yeah.
which means accepted text. Basically, you're saying that's not accepted text, but you have other Christians that do say that's accepted text.
Yeah.
The Roman Catholics, the RCC, which you are vocab, you're nothing but an RCC, a Roman Catholic agent, you know,
yeah.
Jesuit, whatever you want to call yourself, they accept the Apocrypha.
Yeah. Well, the Apocrypha was in the original King James Version.
Yeah,
Well, he
exactly.
doesn't like the King James.
Yep.
He said the Hebrews, they like the King James. And the King James is not a reliable book. Then why you keep fucking with it?
Yeah.
Okay. In other words, anything that we prove that's right,
Yeah.
for him to disprove it, King James not valid, the Apocrypha is not valid.
Yep. To fit their bullshit.
Yeah. Gaslighting.
Yep, gaslight. Go back to Daniel 8.
Okay. Daniel chapter 8, and we at verse.
And then we may go back. We are going to go back to Maccabees, first Maccabees 1.
Okay.
You know, we got to get into Theosis.
All right.
You know who does that? Women argue like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you prove a point,
Yeah.
that's not valid.
Yeah. But they're
Totally
emotional.
dismissing your point.
Daniel 8, verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation.
Seleucus Kingdom, Seleucus, Ptolemy, Masameus,
Cassandra.
and Cassandra. The main two were
Seleucus.
Seleucus and
Ptolemy.
Ptolemy,
Yep.
because they had a series of wars.
Right.
Hope you're taking notes,
Okay.
Bishop Nathaniel, so you can
Okay.
do a breakdown. Those series of wars are known as the Six Syrian Wars. Do me a favor, go to Google and put in the Six Syrian Wars.
Six Syrian. The Syrian wars were a series of 6 wars between the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemaic Kingdom.
Oh! Deal with that.
Take that.
In
You
the
never broke
face.
that down, Bishop Nathaniel, because it was never taught you. Like I said in a previous video that I made the other day, I said you're nothing but a master regurgitator.
Yep. Regurgi, man.
That's all you is.
Yeah.
It says successor states to Alexander the Great's empire.
Then
Which-
that's the fourth.
We just read that, right?
Read it again.
Okay.
Yeah,
It says.
that guy Nathaniel, he never really went deep. You know?
Yeah.
We finna go deep.
Yeah.
You know who said that? George Washington.
Oh yeah,
That was his
yeah.
brother's name. George
That was his name.
Washington. Listen, your brother used to curse him out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, your brother's name is George Washington. What's wrong with your brother?
Daniel chapter 8, verse 22. Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his
4
power.
kingdoms.
Yeah. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
Now, if you ask Geno Jennings, what does that mean? Talking about the Antichrist. Talking about the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Fucking clown, man. You're a clown. I watch you for. Did y'all see the thing I did on And so in the Odyssey, Geno Jennings took the jump shot.
No, I don't think I
You
saw
gotta
that.
watch that video, man, because it's like a movie that you gotta watch.
Yeah,
it.
it's hard for me to watch those Odyssey videos because on my television I can't get it.
I watch it on the screen anyway.
On a computer.
On the computer.
Yeah, because I could watch it in my room, on my bed, but I can't.
Hey, but the guy, you gotta watch it, man. It's short. But the guy started doing this. Somebody put it up. Go ahead.
All right, Daniel's 8:23. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences.
That's got to be the Antichrist.
That's
The anti-type.
the anti.
No, that's Antiochus. That's Antiochus Epiphanes. If you want to go back to the Maccabees and go hit the point, you can hit that point if you like.
And the first Maccabees, right?
First Maccabees.
Yeah.
All right.
Wicked root.
Yep.
Just straight to the point, right?
Go straight to the point.
Wicked
This
root.
this is First Maccabee 1 and 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Now, can you get that in Daniel 11? Can you go to the point? in
I'm
Daniel
already
11?
Oh, you
You in
Go to
Daniel 11?
No, I'm
go
in
right,
8,
Go,
but I could go.
go right to where when it speaks about
to
Antiochus
about 20
Epiphanes.
something. What does that say right there? Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay. Daniel chapter 11, verse 21. And in his estate shall stand up a vile person.
What did it say? What did it say in the Apocrypha?
Wicked
In
root.
the wicked root,
Wicked
yeah.
root, right?
Yep.
The vile person is also the same guy that's the wicked root. Go ahead.
And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom.
Yeah, because he had to flatter the people.
Yep.
Because I believe it was, if you go into the history, I believe it was his uncle,
His brother was a king.
his brother,
And he was a
And his
hostage.
brother's son taking the place.
Right.
He had him set up so
Right.
he could be in there. So they didn't trust the guy.
Gone.
You know?
Because he was a hostage in
He
Rome.
was a hostage
They
in
brought
Rome,
him,
right?
yep.
And that was during the time of the knowing,
Yeah.
Etruscans, which was Jake. And they had they were kind of honorable people that worked with us. Go ahead.
Okay? And it says, and in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom.
So they said, you're going to in here.
Hey,
Oh,
shalom,
what's
What's going on?
All right, baby.
Damn.
Now I know where they at. That's okay. They won't have you see the brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's that, brother? That was,
You know, that's a brother, from the Men of Valor camp.
Yeah, he's the brother of the other brother.
Yeah.
Main-
Oh,
main
right,
brother.
right, right.
That's a Haran. His name is Aaron.
That's it. It says, whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries.
Yep.
That's what he did.
Flattered
Man.
his way in there, you know?
Flattered a lot of jakes too.
Yes.
A lot of jakes. Tells you in the Apocrypha, a lot of jakes made an alliance, a treaty, so to speak, with Antiochus. You know, they became like the Greeks. They became Hellenized. Right.
And with the arms of a flood shall they be overflown from before him.
Yeah, the flood represents the army. When you go to Revelation 12, that flood was talking about the Roman army in 70 AD.
And that's why later in the scriptures in the New Testament it speaks about there's no Jew, no Greek. Israelites became Greeks.
Right.
You got to go back to the time of
The history.
You gotta go back to the history.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I was just reading that, and what was that we were just reading about Antipater, where it said that the Hellenized Jews didn't recognize Herod or something like that. I'm sorry, the non-Hellenized Jews
Right.
didn't recognize Herod and them
Right.
because they were making leagues with the Romans, and it's like, nah, man, because they were actually putting, I think they were putting, was it eagles, you know, like around the temple, or you know, something like that,
Yeah.
and they were like, man, we ain't trying to have that.
Yeah. That's the symbol of Esau.
Yeah.
Which the eagle is a proud bird, number one.
God.
It's also a filthy bird, number two.
Yeah.
So, you know, our symbol has always been what? The lion.
Yeah, the brother had a dream out of the islands.
Yeah.
You know, that was the eagle. You
God.
know?
So it said the eagle was all fucked up, right? Because the bird the hen. Like, you know how the Most High said, I would be like a hen to cover the brood, something like that.
Yeah, how should I say that?
Right.
How often I would, as a hen gatherer of the brood.
Right.
Yeah.
So he said that the eagle was all fucked up afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, so the Lord's gonna fuck Esau up.
Well, that's in the Apocrypha.
Right.
When
Yeah.
the lion was talking to the eagle.
Yeah.
That's also in the Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overflown from
As a matter
before.
of fact, I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, when Alexander was born, there was an eagle that perched
Yeah.
on Philip of Macedonia's house. The eagle perched on the house.
Because
Damn.
Philip wanted to be the one.
Yeah, and he got jealous
Yeah.
of his son.
Yep. His son
I
was the
believe he wanted to kill his son.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to be that guy calling the prophecy. Because Alexander was set up upon the prophecy.
Yeah.
By the high priest showed him. He said, you see that? Daniel spoke about you right here.
And they said
That's why he kissed Alexander was kissing Israel's ass.
Oh, yeah. He showed him favor. Go ahead.
All right, Daniel's.
Well, we always bring that out. Alexander, one of the men that tutored him was one of the sages.
Aristotle. Yeah,
Aristotle. Go ahead.
Daniel 11 verse 22. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overflown from before him, and shall be broken. Yea, also the prince of the covenant. And after the league made with him, he shall work deceitfully, for he shall come up and shall become strong with a small people. He shall enter peaceably even upon the fattest places of the province, and he shall do that which his fathers have not done, nor his fathers' he shall scatter among them the prey and spoil and riches, yea, and he shall forecast his devices against the strongholds, even for a time. And he shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south with a great. What was that? 20 minutes before? I forget.
Somewhere around there. You go into the history. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of when you go to break that down in
Yeah.
Daniel 11. There's a lot of math. There's a lot of names. There's a lot of
Yeah.
So you just can't break it down off the top of your head.
Yeah,
You need the notes.
Yeah.
we
Cliff notes.
we went through, like, was it 3 weeks? You know, we went through it like a few hours. You know, like for 3 weeks we went through that whole breakdown. Because you brought us the copy of the Daniel 11 thing.
At that time, the center of the earth at that time, for lack of, was Egypt. Center of worship, center of culture, all of that.
Alexandria.
Yeah, Alexander. You had the major library that
Alexandria.
was built Alexandria.
Which
And
was,
also- yeah, I'm
sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, you good.
I believe that was Julius Caesar that burned it down.
I'm not sure.
Somebody,
I'm not
I
sure.
forgot who burned it
Yeah.
down.
But then you also had the major center of worship, Serapis Christus,
Yeah.
which the followers, they were called Christians.
Yeah.
And then when Ptolemy, when he said which is Jesus Christ. And that's why we tell you the origin of so-called white man Jesus really goes back to Serapis Christus.
Yep.
That was the first. This is why, what the scriptures say, there's no new thing under
Right.
the sun. And all the Borgia family did, all they did was resurrect back that
Legacy.
that legacy, lack of a better term. That practice,
That practice, yeah.
resurrected back that practice. That's all they did. Go ahead.
All right, Daniel 11 verse 25. And he shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south with a great army, and the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army. But he shall not stand, for they shall forecast devices against him. Yea, they that feed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him, and his army shall overflow, and many shall fall down slain. And both these
There's
kings,
those wars that
Right.
Elder Pastor mentioned earlier. What is that? 6, 7? That's
6 of them, yeah.
Six Syrian wars.
6 Syrian wars. 6 Syrian.
and both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies.
Meaning there were 6 separate wars after the sons of the kings, you know. Each of the sons of the king, like the first Ptolemy was Ptolemy Soda. His son was Ptolemy Philadelphus.
The second, yeah.
So you had when his father got old, the son took over.
Right.
You know, the same thing on the Seleucid side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
conquest of Egypt.
yep.
Yeah. Go
No,
ahead.
that was how it was. Succession of king, then prince.
Because it keeps saying, and the king did this, and the
Right.
king did that. So you think it's one king
Right.
fighting against him. No, it's their sons. All right?
Right.
They think it's one king because of the title, Seleucus,
Right.
King of the
and
south,
Ptolemy.
Yeah.
king of the
But
north.
they don't realize that each Ptolemy had their own real name too.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were called Seleucids, and also
Antiochus.
Antiochus.
Yeah.
Antiochus, Seleucids.
Yep.
These were titles.
These were titles. Yep.
And
Yeah,
both
just like Cleopatra. Cleopatra was another
And there was
term.
more than one Cleopatra.
It was like
Y'all don't
11
know
of
that.
them,
That's
11,
right.
12 of them.
I think it was 7, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, it's easy research.
And
Yeah.
I'm saying again, in order for you to go to this is how we know you Christians don't really understand the scriptures. You know, you go to your commentaries, Bible Hub, and other commentaries, or these the experts in the scriptures. They'll tell you, they'll say exactly what we're saying. So the average
Scholars.
Christian that goes, hey, you go down below and you bring your reader gallery with you, y'all don't know nothing, man. So if we was to go deep if we were gonna go deep into the prophetic scriptures, you'd be lost, man. I asked that dude, what do you mean? I said, what nationality was Paul? He was
Yeah.
I said, you mean, and I wrote it. I said, you mean to tell me you don't know that?
Yep.
That's a simple question.
That's right.
He got mad as hell, man.
Yeah, I mentioned that word circumlocution. The guy didn't even know what. And then his boy, vocab, had to explain to him what circumlocution is. Because that's what
They were talking in
that debate.
circles.
They were talking in
Talking in
circles.
circles, yeah.
The debate Pastor had with them, that was nothing but circumlocution. Talking
Yeah.
in circles.
Yep. That's all they do.
Never getting to the point. Get to the goddamn point.
Yea, let your yea be yea, your nay be nay.
They hit the point and move on. Point blank period.
That's it.
I was at the show back there, Point Counterpoint.
That's
Was
it.
it on
I remember that.
SNL, Saturday
Yeah,
Night
yeah,
Live?
yeah.
Point Counterpoint.
There used to be Jane Curtin and,
Yeah, Jane Curtin.
and this guy.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she would say something,
Yeah.
and he said, "No, you ignorant
Slut.
bitch,
Yeah. No, he was saying you ignorant slut.
ignorant slut." Yeah. And he did he got a commercial. He sells liquor now, and it man looks young. He might be a Jake. And he did recently. He did a commercial selling some type of liquor.
Dan Aykroyd?
Dan Aykroyd, yeah, Canadian doctor. and shit.
yeah, he's into
He's in the
UFO.
experts.
Yep.
He's into that.
Yep.
He was very convincing very convincing.
Well, actually, musicians, they became musicians for that role.
You see the light. That movie is hilarious.
That was funny ass movie.
Go ahead, bro. You got
Daniel's 11 verse 27. And both these kings' hearts shall
Is it
be
Daniels or Daniel?
Daniel. Fuck.
There's only one Daniel.
It's
Because
brother.
Revelation,
because
not
because
Revelation.
James White might,
Yeah,
Dr. James
yeah,
White might jump out
yeah.
the camera and, you know, kick you in the head.
It's revelation, not revelation.
Which we always said that. We've been saying that. Man. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
We've been saying revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which technically, if we say Revelations, we're not wrong
Yeah, 'cause
because
he had
it was
more
a
than one.
series.
Yeah.
He had more than one
Yeah, if you
revelation.
say it, if you use it in this life, you say
Yeah.
these are the revelations of the Lord.
Yeah, that's what it says.
All right? But the book is called the book
Look
of
like-
Revelation.
And the book is called Revelation.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Okay, so Daniel chapter 11, verse 27. And both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief, and they shall speak lies.
Why? Because they were the wicked. They came out of the root of Esau,
Right.
Edom. They were Edomites.
Right.
Both of them. Which proves Esau, Edom is the wicked.
Right.
They were sold to do. What the hell do you think Joe Biden is doing? He's doing mischief.
Yep.
The whole those clowns up there in D.C. And what they call that, the Capitol.
January 6th thing.
No.
The Senate,
Yeah.
Congress,
Yeah.
House of Representatives.
Yep. There was they have a title for it, Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill.
Capitol Hill.
Yeah. What do you think those clowns are doing?
Oh, yeah.
And then that whole city is laid out with all kinds of satanic. We've actually gone down there.
Filmed there.
That city and filmed. We were right at the foot of the
DC was built
Obelisk.
on, everything was cut up, it was marsh. And
Yeah.
everything, before they built on it, we had what do you call that, not spots.
Lots.
They had lots.
Yep.
The
They all
lot that
were all
they built
numbered.
DC on was 666.
It's all mischief. It's all witchcraft.
Right.
This is why.
The Capitol was built around the owl.
Yep.
The Capitol itself is in the belly of the owl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
Then you
goes
got-
back to
then you
the
got the
Capital
pentagram.
Lion.
Yep.
Bohemian Grove,
Like in ancient Rome, you
Capitol
had
Lion Hill.
what was that hill?
Capitol Line.
Yeah,
Just
Capitol
mentioned
Line
it.
Hill, where they
Capitol
did
Line
all the witchcraft. They did, it's the same thing with DC. Same shit.
I believe they used to sell, the witches used to go there to sell their wares in that area. No, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a long time since we've
Yeah,
gone into
we've gone into that.
Yeah, it was
information.
Capitol Line Hill in Rome, and
Yep.
it's Capitol Hill in America.
Now, why
Yeah.
would you call it that?
Exactly.
And you know why they built it on the marsh? Because they were looking for something that was similar to Egypt.
Right.
And they were built in marshlands. So that's why they built it there.
Now you know, I was listening to Michael Mahoney. He does
Yep.
a silver gold. I was watching one of his old videos. He's going through Rome, and he broke down the treasury of Rome, and he showed a picture of the treasury of Rome, and he showed a picture of the treasury in DC. Looks exactly the same.
There you go.
That's Rome.
That's the image.
Whole proof that America's Rome.
That's the image of the beast.
When you look at the buildings over there in Washington D.C., they look like Roman statues. What's the word?
Pillars,
Roman pillars.
architecture.
Roman architecture. Go at it, brother. Roman architecture with the columns and the pillars.
Right. It's all the same thing. It's because it's a revival. It said he exercises all the power of the first beast.
The first beast
Yeah.
was the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
your example. Go ahead.
Okay.
Can't
So
make
this
this
is-
stuff up.
You can't
Nah.
make it up.
And you can't deny it either.
No.
Can't make it up and you can't deny it. You can try denying it, but that don't make it not be the truth.
Right.
Right.
Daniel's 11, verse 27. And
Hold up. Now the
There you go.
schematic of Washington D.C.
Yeah. It's a pentagram. And there was this guy that was breaking it down. The reason why there was one part that was missing, one street that was missing, like on the corner there.
This one.
Yeah, he said because that was, I guess that was like an opening, that they would do it that way as a on purpose, like a door opening or something like that. I forget the whole history on it. Yep.
Well, there was that's also in the book Satan's Angels Exposed. There's I forgot what it's called. There's a meeting room
Yeah.
where they have all these seats.
Yep. Look at that. And then one of them is empty, right?
One of the seats is empty. And the reason it's empty is supposedly Satan himself sits in that seat.
Yeah.
It shows you that they,
And them devils, they see them spirits. They conjure them spirits up.
now the ordinary people will laugh, but these devils have ways of contacting those demons.
Yeah.
This is why bring out Isaiah
But
47.
the demons are lying to him.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
demons
the
are
demons
picking
are
them
lying
up.
to
The
him.
Most
Yeah.
High told them to lie to him. Told
Yeah.
them that they're going to succeed.
Lying
Hey,
spirits.
the demons
I
told
was
them
just
that they were
thinking
going
of
to succeed with the Ukraine thing. Man.
Yeah, yeah.
And they get their fucking asses handed to them. Man.
Yeah, man. That dude sold his people out.
Zelensky.
Yeah.
Well, that's nothing but a what do you call it?
Puppet.
A blood offering. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He offered the Ukrainian people
Yep.
to the Russians.
Yep.
Man.
That's what he did.
Ain't nothing but a blood offering right there.
He was set up to do what he did anyway. These guys we were talking about
He
that.
was an actor.
He was developed, right?
He was developed.
We were talking
He
about
was
that
developed.
before we set up camp.
Yeah.
Because you Jakes, you get, oh no, we got to vote and we'll get Biden in there. And look, the top elite know who's going to be president going back, 10, 20 years back. They already know who's going to be president. And we talked about, there's a picture, and you can see it on Google. You can Google this, of a young Bill Clinton shaking the hands of JFK, John F. Kennedy. Now, what's that all about? Showing
What's
you
that
that
all
the
about?
presidents have been groomed
Oh yeah.
years, going back years now.
That's what the colleges are for. The colleges are not recruiting grounds for the future leaders.
Yeah.
You know? And then they get the brightest and most intelligent, to push their agenda.
Yeah,
Hey, so you don't say we're making this shit up?
it is.
That's the picture.
There you go. That's a
Now, how
young,
do you explain that? How do you explain
Got it? Got it.
yep,
yeah.
it's a young Bill Clinton,
young Bill Clinton?
and that's Kennedy.
So they knew Bill Clinton would be president years before he became president.
Yeah.
And Clinton was a part of this political group, young politicians or whatever the name is.
And another thing too, Biden was what? Was not Biden a senator? So there you go. Why didn't they just take a Joe Neckbone from off the street and make
Right.
him president?
Yep.
President,
And all those presidents have been related to each other.
They're all and there's a
Because
school
Barack
of thought-
Obama is related to Bush.
Yep. There's a school of thought that those presidents, they have some direct relation to the Queen,
Yeah.
Queen of
To the
England,
crown, yep.
the so-called British royalty.
Yep.
So, that's why George Carlin said it's one big club and you ain't in it.
Right.
Right.
That's what he said. You can quote, if you don't believe me, Google that quote. George Carlin, it's one big club and you ain't in it.
It's a bloodline. It's a bloodline.
Go ahead. And it's the same thing with our thing. Really, the ones that are part of the elect really are interrelated.
Yeah.
The ones that are part, because those are the top spirits. Those are the first fruits. There's a scripture where it speaks about the elect as the church of the first fruits, right? Which are the first spirits of their family lines. They're kind of all interrelated when you really look at it. So it's always been about what? It's always been about
Bloodline.
bloodline. It's always been about bloodline.
Yeah.
There's another word
I
for
put
it
in
too.
Trump. Trump is Nero Caesar.
Damn.
Wow, look at that, man.
They,
Yep.
they
Just like-
compared Trump. If they can compare President Trump to any Caesar, it would be. They always say Nero.
right.
They always say Nero.
There's a word for it. Bloodline is good, but there's another word for it where rulership is based upon. The word escapes me. It's like a technical word. You know what? Bloodlines and families, hierarchy of families. The world has always been ruled by the hierarchy of families.
Science.
Relatives.
No, not science. It's another word. Nepotism. As a
Nepotism.
matter of fact, they asked us to recognize how much. They be remembered. I'm gonna look up the
Heavy
word.
knowledge coming out today. I
Yeah.
hope you're taking notes.
We finna go deep.
We've been to go deep.
Okay, here we go. Nepotism. Nepotism. It says the practice of those with power or influence of favoring relatives
See? There you go.
or friends, especially by giving them jobs. So even in this thing of ours is about nepotism, right?
Yeah.
If you check it out, the elect, they're some way down the line, they're into, like, case in point, you had Yahushua and
And
Peter,
John
right?
the Baptist.
Right. Well, let's start with Yahushua and Peter. Now, back in the past, Peter was David, and David was the father of Solomon, who was Yahushua.
Yeah.
You see the relation. So somewhere down the line,
Yeah, we see it with Bogan Malone does wow, you know, said earlier, reincarnation.
Yeah.
And then he brought up the thing with hell. He would have had the little debate with that time preacher.
Oh, yeah.
That man, y'all did a video, you know, a couple of y'all did a video. I wasn't going to press it. So I said, let me go to Acts.
Yeah.
Clearly breaks it down, man.
Yeah.
It said, clearly show when you look at that word hell,
Yeah.
it said his flesh shall not be corrupted in hell.
Right.
So it's a
Great.
physical body being in hell.
Yeah.
That corrupted meaning to be
Decomposed. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
yeah.
So now when you look at that word hell, then go to all the time that word hell in Acts 27 is written. It's got to be talking about the grave. It ain't talking about no place you burn and
Right.
experiment.
Yeah. The word hell in the New Testament, I believe, appears 24 times. 12 is.
And most of the time
Gehenna.
it means I gotta say it like.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta say it right.
Yeah.
Hades.
Hades. Yeah.
Hades. We
Hades.
say Hades, but Hades.
Hades? Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
we say that.
Hades.
Hades or Hades.
Hades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Potato.
when you look up Hades, Hades is a Greek god because it's old wife term.
Right. Pluto.
Right, Pluto is a Roman god
Right.
of
Hades.
the Greek
That was the
god
Greeks.
Hades.
Hades.
And then Orcus
Orcus.
is the Japhetic way of saying,
Orcus.
you know,
Okay. I saw
Orcus.
that too. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So where they get it from? They got it from the Japhetic people and
Right.
the Greeks.
Yeah.
It was a fairy
The Roman
tale.
Catholics picked it up. Guess
Yeah.
what, vocabulary? You're a Roman Catholic.
That's why the Apostle Peter said, when I made known to you the resurrection of Yahushua, I didn't do it, with cunningly devised fables or something like that.
Yeah. Well, those
You know?
were big back then.
Yeah.
Cunningly devised.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, they didn't have no MTV and MTV
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing but a cunningly devised fable that goes back. It's Greek mythology, man.
Yeah, man.
Done for
And
entertainment.
there's a story
Right.
that became a movie called Orpheus.
Orpheus.
There was a Brazilian movie maker made a movie called Black Orpheus.
Right.
And there was a story, they had black Brazilian characters play Orpheus. And what was the woman's name that he fell in love with was Persephone.
All right. Right.
They
Right.
told us about
And
that.
they show you in the movie, he was
Right.
playing the guitar.
Right.
So Orpheus had to go bring his love back, and he said, look, when you go down to hell, you turn around and you play, and she's going to follow you, but don't look back.
Right.
If you look back, she's going to go to hell forever.
Yeah.
She's going to wind up in the abyss.
Yeah.
So he's
gonna get
playing,
dipped.
right? They almost out, and he looks back, and she's like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Which that's who's on top of the Capitol.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Capitol.
yeah. So which is supposed to be Lady Liberty or whatever.
Mercy
No,
poem.
that's which is nothing but Persephone,
Right.
which goes back to Semiramis,
Which goes.
which is the king, the queen of heaven.
Hey, which shows you that that's all witchcraft, like in Isaiah 47. Then you got Nahum. What is Nahum? The mistress of witchcraft.
By the way, it's 555.
555, triple power.
Isaiah 47 verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments.
So this is the Heavenly Father cursing you out, Esau. Edom. Cursing you out. Go ahead.
Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
The multitude of thy sorceries, like we brought out about DC.
Yep.
It's all sorcery, it's all witchcraft.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah.
It says, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail.
Right, if so be thou shalt be able to profit. Profit against who? Yahushua and the angels. When Yahushua comes to destroy your society, but you ain't
Right.
going to profit.
Yeah.
No amount of witchcraft is going to derail Yahushua and the angels from taking down your kingdom.
Yeah,
No amount of witchcraft.
It even says that in Romans 18, the sorceries which the nations were deceived, something like that.
Yeah.
It's all going to go down with you.
You even said that one of your Alice Bailey, and book called Externalization of Clarity. In the book, she said, "Oh, missiles are going to be used to scare people.
Yeah.
We're not going to actually use the missiles. They're just going to be used to scare people." Now, this is why it's written, "He taketh the wise in his own craftiness." You can't go against the prophecy. Isaiah 54:16. I have created, the Heavenly Father said, "I have created a waste to destroy it." But you said, no, the missiles ain't going to be used. They're just going to scare people and accept in a one world order. Okay. Go ahead.
That's what you say.
Thou art wearied in a multitude of thy counsels.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Man, you're not getting, like Elder Pastor said earlier, the demons are lying to you.
Right.
You're not getting the answers that you really need. Go ahead.
Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators
Yep.
stand up and save thee,
Put it there.
You don't know what to do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
and save thee from
Nigga got some nerve. Thumbs up, you know?
Go ahead.
and save thee from these
Comes
things,
back out here.
The copper just passed. Copper. Go ahead.
and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Yep.
So crazy, man. Damn, man, I get the thumbs up. I ain't gonna get it. I get a thumbs up.
Yeah, you give that look like, they know what we're about, man. But hey,
Black
hey,
people has some
hey.
PH eyes.
manifest destiny, man. Manifest destiny. These devils are going down.
Yeah,
Man. You had your fun,
payback is America has been your kingdom.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It says,
I try to be a good thing.
Try to be a good thing. Go ahead, go ahead.
it says, verse 14, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Read that.
I'll read 13 again. Yeah. It says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels.
Right.
Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators.
Yeah, those are the people that help run your government.
Yeah.
So, you know, it hit, like years ago, they brought out, what's the name?
John Todd.
No, not John Todd. The wife of Ronald Reagan,
Oh, Reagan.
Nancy Reagan, that she was consulting, what was that? She was
Spirit-
consulting, yeah,
Spirit guides and shit.
spirit guides. And,
Well,
Eleanor.
most of them know FDR's wife.
Right.
yeah,
Eleanor.
yeah.
She was known for that, man. You know? And then who idolized her was
Bill Clinton's
Bill Clinton's wife. She's in the Demons and Damn Show. She idolized Sanger.
Margaret Sanger, yeah.
Yeah, Margaret Sanger.
yeah.
So niggas, you know, that's Hillary. You know?
Bill
Now,
Clinton.
what did
You fucking niggas, man. We closing, but we gonna have to get on you niggas.
that means we'll be here for another hour.
Yeah, right.
Another 2 days and shit, man.
Yeah.
There's one nigga I was listening to, the Clay Gaines show.
Oh,
on,
yeah, Clay Gaines.
XM. You listen to that?
Yeah.
That Mo. I mean, he got good shows. He did
Yeah, he
fucking
did,
Mo,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
Mo's not gonna kill your black ass.
Yeah,
But anyway, somebody called saying, we gotta vote. We gotta vote.
yeah.
He said, because if we don't vote, they're going to put us right back into slavery. Nigga, we ain't going back into motherfucking slavery, man. With the mentality of Jake today, man, Jake will fuck shit up, man.
And then the Lord said,
Like I said, if you go to Google, and you put in a slave rebellions, and this story comes out, this guy, I said, damn, they should make a movie about this dude. Dude, he said, fuck, because he got tired of working. He said, I ain't fucking working for this white man no more. And this was in the early 1500s, man. Please, somebody go to that. With slave rebellions.
yeah, so how much more now? Early 1500s.
And
Slave
he fucked
rebellion.
them crackers up so bad, they went out into the woods. They were living in the woods. And Esau even made a treaty. Look, they ain't gonna mess with you no more. That's what they were doing. They need supplies. They would go out and jump on Esau.
Yeah, why not?
And he was a king. He was a prince. Now, Esau never speaks about that. There was a lot of fucking rebellions back during the time of slavery, chattel slavery. And part of the reason why they freed the slaves, so-called emancipated the slaves, because Jake was getting tired of being in slavery, man.
Right.
You saw what the French did. What was that? Was that 1804? Was it?
That sounds about, yeah.
1804.
That sounds about, yeah, 1804.
1804.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah,
North
that sounds
America.
about
What they did when the Haitians freed themselves from the French, their plan was to go up to the north
He said
and free the Benjaminites and
Save the
Judites
slavery
in
bill.
America. But why didn't it happen? Because the Most High didn't want it to happen.
They wanted to happen.
And why was Esau able to take us down during the time of the Byzantine Empire? The reason why he took us down was he plagued us with a disease called as the Black Plague. The plague, the Black Death. To cut down Israel by was it 3/4, 75%,
Yeah.
or 2/3 rather. So it's a small level. Had the Most High not cursed Israel with that plague, Esau would have never took us down. Esau would have never took down the Moors. Remember, the Moors went down around the same time as the Byzantine Empire went down. And you can't stop it. Even
Yeah, I
though
found
it-
something.
I want the guy. I think the guy is Young Go, or something like that.
He was from.
Young guy, Young Go. I put his name in YouTube,
Type in
and there's a
Young
whole bunch of them. You know,
Go
you gotta-
back and put Slavery Bill in Young.
People out there Google it too. You could try to find it too. You gotta do some work too.
Put Slave Rebellion, Young Gun.
Young, right there. Try that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Young.
Is that it?
Okay. Young Gun 1500s.
It was a 1500. That's it. That's it.
Okay, I'm gonna hit this. Let's see. Okay, it says, did African American slaves rebel? One of the most pernicious allegations made against the African American people was that our slave ancestors were either exceptionally docile or content and loyal, thus explaining their
Wish that wasn't the case.
Right.
thus explaining their purported failure to rebel extensively. Some even compare enslaved Americans to their brothers and sisters in Brazil, Cuba, Suriname, and Haiti, the last of whom defeated the most powerful army in the world, Napoleon's army, becoming the first slaves in history to successfully strike a blow to their freedom. As the historian Herbert Aptheker informs us in American Negro slave revolts, no one puts this dishonest, nakedly pro-slavery argument more badly than the Harvard historian James Scholler in 1882, who attributed this spurious conclusion to the innate patience, docility, and childlike simplicity of the Negro, who he felt was an imitator and non-moralist, learning deceit and libertinism with facility, being easily intimidated, incapable of deep plots. In short, Negroes were a black servile race, sensuous, stupid, brutish, obedient.
That's what they were doing. That's what they wanted. But you had Jakes that were
Trying to find this guy's
rebelling against Esau and killing. And they were, when they rebelled, they weren't playing no games, man.
Yeah.
They were chopping heads. They were smashing heads. They were killing women.
Yep.
And that's what's going to happen again. Micah 5 verse 7.
Michael 5%.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the point with that, let me see. Okay, let's.
You always had the field Negro and the house Negro. You always had those two groups. The house Negro, that was the guy who was docile.
Because he was in the house.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Gaspar Yagnas Rebellion.
Yagnas.
It says, known as the first liberator of the Americas, Gaspar Yanga was an African slave who spent 4 decades establishing a free settlement in Mexico. Yangas,
Yeah, they intermarried with the Latin tribes too.
it says, goddamn Satan. It says Yanga's Odyssey in 1570 when he staged a revolt at a sugarcane plantation near Veracruz. After fleeing into the forest, Yanga and a small group of former slaves established their own colony, or palenque, which they called San Lorenzo de los Negros. They would spend the next 40 years hiding in this outlaw community, surviving mostly through farming and occasional raids on Spanish supply convoys. Colonial authorities succeeded in destroying San Lorenzo de los Negros in 1609, but they were unable to capture Yanga's followers and eventually settled for a peace treaty with the former slaves. Now in his old age, Younger negotiated the right to build his own free colony as long as it paid taxes to the Spanish crown. The municipality, the first official settlement of free Africans in the Americas, was finally established in 1630 and still exists today under the name Younger.
Yeah, so that's it, man. So it wasn't no, we were like God sound and all that. And the spirit that guy, when he called it play a game show, he said if we don't vote, they're gonna put us back into slavery. Nigga, you gonna be the first one that's gonna get your ass kicked. Hey, cause Jake ain't going back. There's too many Jake in the military, there's too many Jakes in martial arts, there's too many lawyers, doctors, there's too many upperly mobile Jakes. And there's Jakes that just can't stand you Edomites any fucking way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the plowman
They're crying for reparations.
the plowman shall overtake the reaper.
Plowman shall overtake the reaper.
I got a quick scripture, Jeremiah 2 and 14.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own homeland.
Yeah, Jeremiah 2 and 14.
And they shall take them captives whose captives they were.
That's right.
And they shall rule over their oppressors. They oppressed us. When we rule over them, what are we going to do? We're going to oppress them.
Yep, Jeremiah 2 and 14. That's nigga's problem. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn?
Well, that's him. He sounded on me that if we don't vote, they're going to put us back into slavery.
Why trimmest thou thy ways?
Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Damn.
Yeah, you got niggas that just don't get it.
Don't drink the milk.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. It was reconnecting. Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are Sodom's children, and they have none understanding.